I think we're all ready. Thank you guys for your time. Okay. Yung i-share ko is the 5 steps to budget. Actually, it's the reason why we chose budgeting kasi it's a one way to help you plan yung needs mo. Yes, ang nangyayari sa atin ngayon is yung COVID nga. Some people are not earning money. So we're having a trouble like thinking kung anong gagawin natin next. And one way na naisip namin to help everyone out na masashare namin is to have a real good plan. Let me just describe budgeting using Webster. Webster actually defines budget as a plan for the coordination of resources and expenditures. It's a plan. So it's very simple and clear na it's something that prepares you sa future. Pero ako, I describe it as a financial game plan. So it's setting your goals tapos ipaplano mo kung paano mo siya i-achieve financially. Okay, I hope it's clear naman. It's very clear naman. So, medyo may short disclaimer lang ako before I continue. In setting goals kasi, we have different areas kung nasaan tayo. Like, yung iba is doing businesses already. Like, I remember there's one na nag-comment na nag-business na siya. Others are working. Iba, possibly nag-school pa. So, we might have different plans. And yung gagawin naman natin na steps is will depend kung nasaan ka. So this will be useful for each one of us. Okay? So let me just proceed with the first step, which is GAD, or the first step is goals. Define your goals. Next would be assign amounts and set deadlines. So these three, i-define ko naman siya isa-isa. So I'm just giving you time lang to write. So the first step, define your goals. Ganito ko siya ine-explain. You have to answer the question, yung why. Bakit? Parang para saan? Para saan ba to? Bakit ko ba kailangan gawin to? Bakit ko ba gustong gawin to? You have to be very clear with this goal at kung saan mo siya gustong gamitin. Like for example, there's something you wanted to pay for or you wanted mag-ipon for a travel or like sa future gusto mo siyang gamitin, ipangdagdag sa savings mo or tulungan magdagdag ng for down payment. So it's something that you have to be clear. And I also insist na sana it would be something that will make you happy. Kasi it's very important na yung goal mo is something that you strongly have emotions with kasi gusto mo siyang i-commit, gusto mo siyang mangyari at gusto mo siyang magawa. So, you have to be clear, answer the question why or what for. The next step is assign amounts. So, ibig sabihin, like for example, gusto mong bumili ng kotse, how much is that? Gusto mo mag-travel, i-compute mo na how much you will need. So it's very important na yung amount na yun, like meron ka ng clear goal, magkano yung gagastusin mo or magkano yung kakailanganin mo to achieve that goal. Okay? It's very simple naman. Next would be set deadlines. Setting deadlines means kailan ko siya kakailanganin. For example, I'll give examples naman later. Pero setting deadlines means just being clear when mo siya kakailanganin. Like you can need it next month, you can need it in a few months, you can need it next year. So yung setting ng deadlines, ganito ko lang siya dinidescribe. Merong different terms of setting ng deadlines. Like for example, it's a short-term goal within 12 months. Yun yung best term ko for the short term. For medium term, that's 12 months to 5 years. Yung isa would be long term, and that's beyond 5 years. Pero for this series or episode, parang we're gonna talk about the short-term goal lang muna. Kasi what we want is to take care of the first few months to a year. After that, if you feel na parang medyo naging useful na tong system na to, you wanted to plan out a longer period, then you can use this pattern para ma-plan mo yung susunod na months mo. Okay? So, gagamitin muna natin yung short-term plans. So, eto na. Mag-example ako. My example would be, the first, yung goal. Example lang to ha. Yung goal ko would be a 5-day vacation to Boracay kasi gusto ko naman masaya ako. After a long wait of dito sa bahay, I wanted to go out, I wanted to spend some time. So that's what I wanted. Nagplan ako ng 5-day vacation to Boracay. That's a goal. Yung amount, ang budget ko for myself would be 15,000. Very parang saktong gastos lang, hindi naman masyadong magastos. And I wanted to go sa September. So, nag-start ako dito from June. Since May na ngayon, it's easier to plan after na nito if we will be free to go out and start working ulit. So, ang plan ko to start budgeting is from June to September. So, that gives me 4 months. Ang total nun, if I will divide the 4 months to the 15,000 budget, I will get 3,750 per month. It's very simple naman. Okay? Let me know. Do you agree ba? You understand? Let me know. Yes lang. Bigyan ko pa ng isang example. Another example would be, ito, pwede tayong makarelate lahat. For example, Christmas shopping or celebration. Dadating yung Pasko sa December, pero syempre mamili tayo earlier. So, let's say, nagplan ako ng goal to have a Christmas shopping and celebration budget. Nag-budget ako ng 20,000 for that. Yun yung kasama na din pang bili ng regalo, pang share ko. And I'm gonna start from June to November. So that gives me 6 months pa to plan. So, dinivide ko siya. It gives me like, ni-round off ko na lang to, pero that's 3,333. So, it gives us a clear picture kung anong gagawin natin each month. Right? So, why is this important? It's very important kasi kagaya nga dito because it's easier to stick to your budget having a clear goal. Pag maliwanag sa isip natin and alam natin yung gagawin, lalo na if we can compute it that way, it will be clear to us kung ano yung kailangan natin gawin each month and how much so that we can do what we want to do and we will be happy each month na, oh, ayan na, malapit na ako. We can see where we are and we can see where we want to go. So that's one reason why, and I think this will be helpful yung first step. Okay, so moving on to the second step, identify your net income and list all your expenses in the next 30 days. So just to explain lang further dito sa identify your net income. Everything has to be computed net or neto. Ibig sabihin, ito yung cash on hand or yung nauuwi natin sa bahay. So I will give you examples of what the different kinds of income na I see, but it can be anything. Basta as long as it's giving money sa pocket mo and it's something na you can hawakan or i-spend. Yung expenses then, we will go on further with that later on. So what are the kinds or the types of income? First income na nilista ko would be salary if you're working. Another one, commission. Like if you're working on commission basis, but this can be both. Meron mga work na may salary, tapos they get additional commission. So it can be added. Businesses, kagaya ng kanina, merong business. Yung total net na income nun, it may vary, but it's better na if you have an average income per month. So everything will be computed per month, including allowance. Like meron mga kids kasi, like yung pamangkin ko, she's getting allowance from her mom, pero sometimes kapag lumalabas siya pag weekends, binibigyan siya ng extra. So what I advise her if she's gonna compute for like saving money, i-compute niya lang yung total allowance niya, which is the regular thing. Okay? I hope it's clear. So this is an example for the net income. Example ko lang to ha. So salary, I get 15,000 per month. Let's say I give consultation, I get extra money. So that's 1,500 per month. I invested in a business, so my profit ako, 3,500, let's say. Tapos I do some freelance work, I get 5,000. So in total, ito total ko lahat yan, that will be my net income. That's after the SSS na, nabawas na yung taxes, nabawas na, let's say everything. Ang total ko would be 25,000 per month. So that will be my net income. Okay? So this one, yung susunod would be the types of expenses. Dito medyo madugo ng konti. So just bear with me ng konti with this one. Kasi medyo mabigat na pag-usapan yung expenses eh. So here, the number one is fixed income, which means recurring necessities to. Ito yung mga regular things. Ang in-example ko dito would be, for example, rent. It's something that you will have to pay for each month. Regular yan, pwedeng tumaas ng konti, pero more or less, it's something na you anticipate, alam mo kung magkano. Electricity, if yung regular na consumo ng per month, like let's say nag-range ka sa 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, and it's a regular thing, then you can put it on an average lang na ganun yung amount. Okay, so eto yung mga na isip ko na regular. So there's water consumption, internet, if you have a subscription like PLDT or Globe, transportation, if you're working, how much you're spending, mobile phone, if you have a plan, ganun. So these stuff are regular stuff that we can actually write down and plan. Okay. Yung next one would be variable necessities. So ang example ko dito would be groceries, personal hygiene, household items. Bakit variable? Kasi these stuff can be changed. Like for example, I use like a brand ng cheese na masarap na gusto ko. Pwedeng this month, pwede kong i-change na to mas mura kasi nagba-budget na ako or nagsisave ako ng money. Pwede kong mas kunin yung mas murang brand pero same yung sarap. So these kaya siya naging variable necessities kasi these stuff can be adjusted. But pwede mo pa rin siya makuha. Pero necessity pa rin siya. Another example is of personal hygiene. Like I bought soap. I can buy a new brand naman na mas mura or get a wholesale siguro para hindi ako gumastos every month. Pero again, ang point ko lang dito is variable siya. It can change. We can change it, kumbaga. So the next one would be type of expense would be the non-necessity. Meaning, ito yung mga per month na parang pwedeng leisure. We can say leisure. Like for example, pagod na pagod ka, meron kang regular massage every week or twice a week. So nilagay ko siya as non-necessity kasi we can go without it naman, to be honest. Pero, of course, we're putting it on our budget kasi it's something that we do every month. So, kina-categorize lang natin sila. So, merong massage dyan, minsan nag-food deliveries tayo, meron tayong subscription sa Spotify or Netflix, lalo na ngayon. We wanted to stay entertained. Yung shopping, like for example, bibili ka ng damit, o kaya minsan yung date night. Minsan, napapadalas yung date natin kasi sobrang love natin si wife or si girlfriend or si boyfriend. So napapadalas yung labas natin. So those stuff, again, all of these are the types of expenses that we have. Another example, if applicable lang to, since meron naman tayo na nagbe-business, we have expenses like employee salary, inventory, like when we get supplies and stocks. It's also expenses like when we advertise, marketing. So those are the types of expenses we all have. So kinategorize ko lang siya na ganun para it's easier to identify for the next few steps na gagawin natin later on. Okay? So far, so good. Just say yes na lang if it's good.
So far, dumadami yung viewers natin. Shiharu, Tokiwa, Beb, Jessa, Jem Salvo, CJ, Retardo, Ja Ariola Flores. Naku, maganda tong Ja Ariola Flores na to. Cherry Aquino join. Welcome to the program.
Hi
Sabi
guys.
ni Sabrina De Asis, yes. Sabi ni
Okay.
Paula Gonzalez, yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So moving on, example. Dito sa step number 2, listing yung expenses natin. So this will be listed for the whole 30 days. Ang request ko lang ha, if you will try to do this at isisimulan mo na siya, wag muna tayo mag-adjust. Kumbaga, wag muna tayo magtipid, wag muna tayo mag-try mag-save ng money kasi ang goal natin is to get real data. Ibig sabihin nun, kaya gusto natin malaman kung magkano talaga yung panggastos, ginagastos natin each month, saan napupunta. Another example lang, just to share lang. Kasi meron akong person na tinulungan and part ng regular gastos niya is buying cigarettes. And he buys like a 1 pack of cigarette per week. So tinanong niya sa akin, should I include that dun sa expenses? Sabi ko, yes, you have to include that. Pero either ilagay mo siya sa variable na necessity or non-necessity kasi meron mga tao na they cannot do without the smoking, so hindi pa sila nag-a-adjust doon. So I suggest ilagay mo siya sa variable. Pero it can be like changed to a different brand. So kaya siya ganun. So that's another example of what to put. So here's my example lang. Like let's say ang fixed na gastos ko each month, ito yung regular, which is 5,000 per month. Variable ko would be nasa 4,500. Hindi siya super realistic kasi it will be different for each one of us. Non-necessity is 8,000. I'm just saying 8,000 kasi based dun sa mga binigyan ko ng consultation, yung non-necessity is normally malaki talaga sa compared sa iba. Kasi hindi nila napapansin when they deliver food o kaya nagde-date night, napapasobra yung date night. So minsan talaga mas mataas siya and it's normal. You don't have to worry about it. Basta ang request ko lang, just be honest. Try not to, kasi this will work for you then. Okay? So this is a list of all your expenses in the next 30 days. Once you start. Okay? So ang total na expenses ko would be 17,500 per month. So pag inad ko sa lahat. So moving on to this next step, which is step number 3. Assess your cash flow. So ibig sabihin nun, gagawin na natin, pagbabanggain na natin yung income versus expenses. So yung iba kasi ginagamit nila, sanay silang gumamit ng balance sheet. Pero ako, actually nilalagay, sinusulat ko lang sa papel tapos siniseparate ko lang ng gano'n. If sanay ka mag-balance sheet, the better. Pero it's easy lang naman to basta pag nalista mo na yung income mo, nalista mo na yung expenses mo, pag ito total mo lang sa pagbabagtayan. So ito yung example niya. This is yung salary na nilist ko nung kanina. So example lang naman siya. I have a total of 25,000 per month na income. Net yan So that's in 1 month. Yung fixed, yung salary ko would be a total, total expenses ko would be 17,500 per month. So yung maganda dito sa nangyari dito, which sa example ko is mas mataas yung income ko sa expenses ko. Pero in reality, mas madalas mas mataas yung expenses kesa sa income. So if ganito yung naging scenario mo, mas mataas yung income mo compared sa expenses mo, then you have more chance to save money. Pero pagka eto mataas, doon na tayo mag-a-adjust. So with that, I will be moving on dun sa next step. So yan, income and expenses. I'll be moving dun sa next step which is step number 4, creating a priority list. I actually created priority sequence. Parang eto, ilista nyo na lang din to. Kasi for me, it's very important, and this is just my opinion, to have a priority list. Kasi gusto mo malaman kung anong una kong babayaran. Yun yung question na tinatry natin sagutin dito. Okay? So, also muna yung priority list that priority sequence that I created. So the first sequence would be payment of interest, generating expenses or debt. Bakit? Kasi ang problema kasi if we have like loans or or so, let's say credit cards, if hindi natin sila uunahin bayaran, ang mangyayari is we may forget. Tapos ang mangyayari is magbo-blow sila out of proportion, lalaki sila, and magiging problem sila sa future, which will eat up yung remaining na salary natin or kinikita natin na income. So pag kinain na yun, liliit yung budget natin to nothing. So there's no point in starting a budget or saving money kung ang nangyayari is all these debts is kinakain lang yung pang-save natin. So, I suggest yung priority is to start with these muna. So, ilista mo muna sila lahat, unahin natin silang bayaran. So, if there is natira, dun pa lang tayo magpo-proceed dun sa next na sequence, which is savings. Ideally, from kung ano magkano na yung natira, like for example, let's say doon sa 25,000, I paid for 5,000 na loan. So natira sa akin is 20,000. From there, yung net na yon, kukuha ako ng 20% for the savings. Yun yung savings for the goal, which is yung step number 1. Okay? Or let's say wala ka pang goal, gusto mo lang mag-save ng money, then use that 20%. Ideally, maganda yung 20%. Based sa experience ko as a financial advisor and planner, we usually commit 20% na i-save. Pero based sa mga naaral ko, merong 10%, may 20%, pero it's better nga to have this kind of percentage. So at least 10 to 20% safe ka na dyan. Pagka nagkaroon ka naman ng additional na income per month, pwede mo naman i-increase yan. Kasi percentage naman siya, lalaki at lalaki talaga siya. And once na ma-finish yung number 1, lalaki talaga siya exponentially. Okay? So, number 3 would be fixed necessities. Ito, wala tayong magagawa dyan. Kaya nga siya fixed. Nandun sa list natin siya ng fixed na each month we have to spend for. So, bakit? Mas importante kasi to save first before paying for necessities. Kasi if inuna natin yung necessities natin, for sure, ito normal at regular na nangyayari sa atin, wala tayong nasa-save. So if we wanted to save and goal, pagkakasahin natin lahat ng natira to these next sequence, priority sequence na i-issue ko. So fixed necessities and then yung variable necessities, nilagyan ko sila ng asterisk, which is a variable and non-necessity kasi silang dalawa yung pinaka pwede nating i-adjust. Meaning, kagaya ng sinabi ko, we can change brands, mas murang grocery. Yung non-necessity, pwede tayong mag-sacrifice. Pwede nating tapusin muna yung payment of interest, yung number 1. Tapos, pag natapos na natin, continue to save. So, that's where we will build yung income natin each month. So, ito yung suggestion ko na priority sequence. Okay ba? Let me know if it's okay. Or you agree?
Agree daw sila, agree.
Agree? Okay, good. Kasi baka ako lang yung nag-agree. Okay, thank you naman. I hope you understand yung importance nito. Ha? Kasi sometimes kasi we don't know saan natin uunahin. Ano yung uunahin natin gastusin. So, I made this priority sequence para at least we know what we're gonna do once we get our money. Okay? So next would be step 5, which would be the last step. Creating your budget plan and review changes. Monthly yan. So, eto yung nangyayari dyan. The reason why I told you every month, kasi dun mo makikita holistically kung anong nangyayari sa'yo each month. Just like what I've told you nung first step, we will see where we are from, like saan tayo nanggaling and where we want to go, right? So monthly, if we see na ano nangyayari, then we have a clear picture of ano ang nangyayari sa atin. Then from there, we can plan our goals. So the reason why monthly siya, kasi normally, ang gastusan talaga at bayaran ng things is monthly din. So, ganon tayo magsa-schedule ng pag-create natin ng plan, budget plan. So maganda to, you put it in writing para mas pwede mo ilagay sa harap ng ng fridge nyo kapag nakita niyo na, or ilagay niyo sa blackboard, or i-share niyo with your spouse para at least mag-partner kayo doon. So, ito yung tips ko lang when you start your budget. So, first tip, we all have our mobile phones naman eh. So, ang suggestion ko is daily, you have your mobile phone. Pagka every time na may gastos ka, parang try to be conscious lang kahit for 1 month na ilista yung mga gastos. Like for example, ay bumili ako ng fried chicken today. So ilalagay ko fried chicken. Like ilista mo lang siya ng ilista. Tapos if you can save the receipt, picturean mo na kasi minsan may mga receipt na nabubura. Or if you're used to using a notebook, or meron iba sa atin magaling sa Excel na gumagawa pa ng formula, you can use that. Or alam mo yun, parang the reason why we're doing this is so that consciously we can list our daily gastos. And it's very important to see kung ano nangyayari. Okay? So next is mag-set ka ng alarm. I suggest mag-set ka ng alarm like kung kailan yung tahimik na time mo each night. Like let's say, tahimik na time would be 10 p.m. ng gabi. I-alarm mo siya so that at least that's the time na i-review mo. Kasi there will be chances na we forget to note it down or hindi natin man-note down yung nangyari sa atin within the day. So maganda yung meron nagre-remind sa atin like yung alarm na isusulat ko pala yung nangyari sa akin today. Eto pala, may extra gastos pala. Or pwedeng kausapin niya si partner na, oy, naalala mo ba yung nagastos natin? Ano nga pala yun? Then they can help you with that. So it's important to have a daily list until the end of the month. Tapos another alarm for the end of the month. Kasi this is where you will create your plan. Okay? So ma-assess mo everything. Makikita mo na clearly everything. Then, okay, ito pala pwede kong gawin. Pwede ko i-adjust to, pwede kong bawasan, pwede kong dagdagan. Okay? Another tip would be use envelope cash system. Actually, merong nag-mentor sa akin ito na parang it's very simple. It's very plain na parang there were times na hindi ko siya tinake seriously. Pero when I tried doing this plan, I used the envelope cash system. Like bumili talaga ako sa National Bookstore ng mga envelopes. Literally, nilalagay ko yung pera ko for the budget. Nilagay ko yung names ng budget. Like this is for my expenses like this. Tapos this is for my savings. Talagang nilalagay ko lang doon. Each month, di ko pinapansin. Tapos, pagka kunyari kailangan ko ng gumastos, like babayaran ko yung bills, kukunin ko lang yung envelope na kailangan ko. So, ganun mo siya, kailangan i-segregate mo siya talaga at saka i-divide. Okay? So, just to say, why do we do it? Like, sometimes kasi, people think na, budgeting, hindi naman siya masyadong big deal. Pero sa totoo lang, yung pinaka-importance ng budgeting is, it really creates a certain mindset sa atin, kagaya ng sabi ni Miss MC, that we can be clear with the things that we wanted. So, ito yung mga naisip kong benefits in doing budgeting. One, it gives us control. We cannot change yung situation natin. Like ngayon, may COVID, may pandemic, like walang work. Yun, hindi natin makakontrol. Pero makakontrol natin yung us. What we can change is ourselves lang. So, once we have this kind of plan, it gives us a sense of control doon sa nangyayari. So, partly, yung next would be, it keeps us sane. Parang hindi siya nakakabaliw kasi something's working pa rin. Something is planned out. May mangyayari pa rin na gagawin. And kagaya nga ng sabi ni ma'am, everything's temporary lang din naman eh. Right? So, it's really good to have control now. Like mag-set tayo ng plan now. Makita natin, okay, ganon. Another thing would be, it also gives us something to look forward to. Let's say, example lang naman na plan ko yun. Gusto kong pumunta ng Boracay. Then, I'd be happy. Alam ko na may gagawin ako, may plan ako. Okay, so inaantay ko na lang yung opportunity. Pag nag-start na mag-normalize yung everything, meron akong gagawin. So, it helps us control yung sarili natin. It keeps us sane. and also gives us yung positive outlook to look forward in something. So this is why I just wanted to leave you guys with this quote na nakita ko. Well, nakita ko lang naman din sa online. Pero wealthy people who invest more time planning their finances always make better decisions and get better results, of course. So with this thought, I'm leaving you guys with yung medyo madami siyang technical, lalo na medyo mahirap siya i-start, lalo na on your own. Kaya the reason why I wanted you to note down yung mga important stuff so that at least pag trinay nyo, may reminder kayo. Well, you can also, message us, ako, si Sir Rupert, si Miss MC. You can send us a message or ito yung email ko. I created also a Facebook page. You can send me message through that. So, yun na yung message ko for this